was just in a really terrible place in my life. I was over 300 pounds. In fact, I had gotten to the place where my scale couldn't even weigh me. I would get on the scale and it would go When I turned 40, I developed diabetes. And in fact, I had to be rushed to the emergency room. And when I got there, they told me that my blood sugar was over 800.
How much time do you have left? How much time do you have left? When you start thinking about that, we don't know. Most of us don't use the stuff that we have brought into the universe. Stop wasting valuable time. If you want something, you have got to be relentless. You've got to learn how to become resourceful. You've got to learn how to become creative. The power to hold on in spite of everything, the power to endure. This is the winner's quality. The hunger, the ability to face defeat again and again without giving up. This is a winner's quality. What this power is, I cannot say. All I know is that it exists, and it becomes available only when a man or a woman is in that state of mind in which he...
Hey, what's up, folks? This is Coach Mark. We are live tonight. I am so excited with this Transformation Thursday that we're doing. And so tonight, as you just saw, we have a wonderful interview that's going to be presented to you with this lovely young lady who is just making some things happen and doing some things in her life. Truly has had a transformation. And you'll be able to hear a story, but and I definitely want her to connect to you as well as you connect to her afterwards, because you got to hear her full testimony. I recently reconnected with her testimony, and I knew it from one aspect, but to hear it in its full capacity from the person that went through it, it was just simply amazing. So you can tell I'm excited to talk to this young lady. So I'm going to bring her in, none other than Bethany Trout, to our session. Let's see, she's going to come in. Bethany,
Hey, everybody.
Always gleaming. Amazing. I'm excited to talk to you tonight about your story.
I'm excited.
You're excited.
Yes.
A little background. Yes. I met Bethany really for the first time when I came to Atlanta in 1999. I knew her family, but I had not met her. She was the hidden older sister. And so we connected and we served in ministry together at her father's church for many years. Had some good times, had some bad times, had some rough times, all of those times.
Yes. Yes, Lord.
But what you could not deny, and I think I have a deeper appreciation now, is just her passion. And I always had a level of respect for her, but I was just sometimes rebellious.
Amen. Truth. Speak it.
Oh my God! Don't tell all my business. I want everybody.
Don't just tell mine.
I want everybody to think that I've always been innocent. Don't this little innocent face.
Don't.
So Bethany, listen. Just to let everyone know, my mission is to see growth in other people as well as myself. And I believe that not only partly, but we share this connection when I heard your testimony and heard you, mind, body, and spirit, that if you're really going to have a transformation, it cannot just be a weight thing. It cannot just happen in your mind. It has to be full body. And once body, soul, and spirit. And so we have to connect to those areas. And once you do, you truly transform.
You do.
And so I want to hear your story tonight. So before we get started, is there anything you want to shout out or speak to?
Oh, just all my honeys and lovelies, and special shout out to all the people who tried to work with me through the years with my weight, my coachings, and I was rebellious. I was a horrible.
I don't think he was that horrible.
I was really bad. Yeah, yeah. So, but just all the people who have loved me throughout everything and supported me and prayed for me and just been there. So yeah, shout out to them and my babies, my children. Yeah, the source of my joy and the source of my pain. Yes,
all of it, all of it,
all of it.
It's all grown now, so that's a good
yes.
thing. You put in the work, so now you can enjoy it. Let me let y'all know, Beth is single. And she has this old transformation body now, so she's ready to mingle. The only thing that we have operating against us is COVID, and so I'm pretty sure we can set up some type of Zoom meeting or something.
You are not right, Mark. You are not right.
I'm gonna ask the tough questions, and I'm gonna put it out there tonight. All right?
You are not right for that.
Okay, so let's get in it. So tell us more in particular. Tell us about your journey prior to you making the decision to say, I need something different. Because we all experience those ups and downs in life, and we have those things. So quickly give us a little rundown of your life and some of the journey as you've been on your weight loss journey.
Well, just growing up, I've never been what you would say a small child. I tease people and say I've always been a double digit. I mean, even when I remember going to JCPenney and my mom, we were shopping we were going to Washington, D.C. So she's kind of get me some little sanctified skirts, that's like a shorts and a skirt. And I remember going to the little chunky girl department and getting a 6X. So I don't even know what it's like to be in a single digit. I've been double digits as long as I can remember. So just growing up, I've never been thin ever. Don't know what that feels like. But honestly, I don't think I became keenly aware of my weight and just really started being self-conscious about it until I remember being in Sunday school. And we had a beloved, I don't think I ever shared this story. We had a beloved Sunday school teacher. And everybody just loved him. He was just awesome. Everybody wanted to be in his class. And so I remember him, and I idolized him. I thought he was amazing. So I remember one Sunday after the class, he took me to the side corner and he said, Beth, I want to talk to you about something. I was like, what? And he's like, you need to do something about those LBSs. And I'm like, LB pounds. Oh. LBS pounds. And when I tell you, I was crushed. I mean, I was just crushed because here this person that I idolized, and he was a man that I idolized. And I mean, and I'm telling you, something just died within me. Really, it did. And I started becoming keenly aware of the fact that my body type was not like everybody else. Now, I've always been outgoing, always sunshiny, always had a good outlook on life, but still within myself and the negative self-talk that I started formulating from that point on. And so, through high school, and I mean, I dated a lot, and I enjoyed it.
Come on.
Hey, because I'm bad. But still, there was just something that I was not good enough. I was not pretty enough. And there was a group of women at the church, and I used to call them the beautiful people because they were, fair skinned, thin, and it was just a group of them. And I just would just envy them. I'm just like, I will never be that. I'm just not pretty enough. I'm just not thin enough to fit that. And so, throughout my 20s and I got married and I still dealt with issues around my weight. I just never, ever, it was like, if you're an overweight person, you know that you eat, sleep, drink, being overweight. All you think about. I mean, there's not a day that went by that my weight didn't factor into something. Whether the choice to go somewhere, the choice to sit on a seat. I mean, am I going to be embarrassed? Can this seat hold me? Or sitting beside somebody on the bus and thinking, okay, am I going to be too wide? Are my hips going to rub against that person's hips? So every waking moment, every decision, what went through my head is my weight. So that was
Wow.
for forever. So that's where it all began. And I don't know if you want me to talk about when I started changing or not, but I'm telling you, nothing, I couldn't do anything without thinking and dreaming, what it would be like. What does it feel like not to have a fat back?
Not to cut you off, but isn't it amazing? You said a couple of things, and one is comparing yourself to other people and living in the comparison mode of always thinking about who I am and what I am in comparison to someone else, and how much that plays a part in it. And I think sometimes we put the pressure on ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, most definitely. And it doesn't help. The media and all that stuff, it plays into everything. And then especially if you're a single woman and you're trying to find somebody, and these men, they see these images of these little pixie thin people, or, you know, big boobs and big booty and a waist like this. And, you know, so you're trying to look like Barbie. And you know, I ain't never gonna look like Barbie, okay?
Right. But you know what? I told myself I would never be little. Even as I started losing weight, I was like, I can never be a certain size because I'm big bone. And I'm just thick. I'm just solid. So I'd never be a certain size. And it's just amazing how we convince ourselves of things that are not necessarily true.
Oh man,
wow.
you hit on such a key point, because it wasn't until recently I was doing something. I was just looking at my hands and looking at my wrist. And I'm like, God, I was like, I got these itty bitty wrists. I got these little hands. I got these little feet. And I said, God, I think you meant for me to be a small person. Because, you know, God framed us. He formed us. And I agree with you, because I used to say that I'll never be thin. I'll never be small. And so, of course, whatever we speak, our mind and our body goes in motion to fulfill exactly what you put out into the atmosphere. And so I was putting that out into the atmosphere. I'm never going to be thin. I'm never going to be thin. But I mean, it was like a revelation. And I remember I had a guy friend. He was like, Beth, your feet and hands don't match your body.
Listen, we know, because I'm going to tell you, you can tell a person that's really a fat person that's stuck in a skinny person that's stuck in a fat person's body. Look at the ankles. If they have small ankles and you know that's a skinny person stuck in a fat person's body.
Man, I got these amazing little ankles, these amazing little feet, these cute little hands and wrists. And I'm like, what happened in between?
Listen,
but that's what I manifested, Mark. I manifested that. And it just throughout my life, just going to food all the time to satisfy something in me that would not be satisfied with food.
Wow. Listen, we can go on this for a while.
I know.
But I found out last week the time goes by real fast, especially when you're talking to someone that just so many good nuggets you're already in. Just, you know, the comments, you're already blessing people. So that's powerful in your testimony. Mm-hmm. So what happened? What was that moment that you said, you know what? I have to change. This is not working out for me. I got to do something. Okay.
So I had a couple of moments. I remember I love rides. I've always loved amusement parks, everything. I love to scream, holler. I love every ride possible. So one time we were taking our kids to Six Flags. And so I got on something. And so the little operator, he was like trying to push that bar down. And then he just kept trying. And his little face is getting all red, and he was just trying to get the bar down. And I got put off the ride. And when I tell you, That was the most embarrassing thing to happen to me. And then I didn't even give up. I tried to get on another ride. And they're like, we're sorry, ma'am. It was like a ride that parachutes you up into the air.
Listen, I'm feeling the embarrassment. I'm feeling like I was there. I understand. Oh my God. I can't even imagine.
No,
And millions of people are waiting to get on the line.
Thank you. And then they all like, what's the hold up? It's like, it's that fat chick up there trying to get on this ride. So that was an embarrassing moment. And I'm sure I went home and ate a bunch of stuff. I'm sure I did. And then when I turned 40, we were driving around. I just started feeling weird. I'm like, something is not right. And I was like, hey, I need to go to the hospital. I need to go to the emergency room. Went to the emergency room. They took my vitals, and immediately I was in, they admitted me. My blood sugar was over 800.
Oh my God. And that is coma. That's death level.
Yes.
Out of here.
Like, how are you talking?
Wait a minute. You said you went to the emergency room or the ambulance?
No. I was in the car. Right. And I was like, you know what? I don't feel right. Something ain't right. So I'm like, I think I need to go to the hospital. So when I got there and they admitted me, and I'm telling you, they kept me for 7 days. But let me tell you something about the doctor. I'll never forget this little doctor. He was African and he had one arm. So I will never forget him. He kept me there, I'm telling you, for 7 days. And he came in the room on that 7th day and he sat down beside me and he said, I want to let you know that I kept you beyond the point that I was supposed to keep you. He said, because I feel like there is something going on beyond and I felt like I needed to keep you here just so you can rest, just so you can get a break. Now that doctor made up all kinds of stuff to keep me there for 7 days. He said, but whatever is going on outside of this room, you need to take care of it because you're going to die. You're going to die. And he knew that. And when we talk about, yes, Valencia, one arm. And when we talk about the whole weight and the whole mind, body, soul connection, not only was I killing myself with what I was putting in my mouth, but I was killing myself by my environment, by the things that I let into my soul, what I let into my spirit. It was killing me. And I had to do something about it because I was going to die. And let me tell you, a year prior to my diagnosis, I was just going online, looking at some things, and I saw this way of eating. And I was like, and God just registered in my spirit. He said, this is how you need to eat. This is how I want you to eat. Well, of course, I was like, oh, that's nice. I didn't do anything. So I kept eating and eating and eating the way I was eating and eating and eating. And it wound me up being diagnosed with diabetes, type 2 diabetes.
But let me stop right there because that's such a powerful point. And I tell people all the time, there's power in being at the table and power of hearing the conversation. There's things deposits that I would say, that sometimes we get, and at the time, we're not ready for it. But when it's time, it springs out. So a lot of times we dismiss ourselves from certain conversations or being in certain environments or doing certain things because I'm not ready for that, or this is not the time. And sometimes we just need to be there to hear the conversation. And when you're ready for it, it will spring up out of you. So that, I think that's powerful in the moment, because you said you heard about that way of eating a year before you even started.
Yeah, I did. And I knew exactly. And God, I'm telling you, I mean, when you connect, and I don't want to get so super deep and spiritual, but I'm talking about relationship. When you have a relationship with God, the creator of your body, he created this body. He knows what this body needs to survive. And I mean, let me tell you something. Those of you who are out there who are struggling, and you've done Atkins, you've done Weight Watchers, you've done Cinnamon, you've done everything under the sun. It's not that they're bad diets or anything like this, But you have to sit and be still long enough to hear your body talk and do what your body needs to survive. Because just like every fingerprint is just unique, don't you know your body is unique? Don't you know the way God designed you is unique? And for us, this is my next step in my journey, is to really be intuitive as to what is my body saying? What does my body need today? And so what my body needs is not what your body may need.
Say that again. That's such a key, because that's one of the things that we talk about, or that's one of the things that I was trained with as a coach, is what works for me doesn't always work for someone else. And we have the power within us to know what our bodies need.
True.
So, let me ask a question. I told you I was going to ask some tough questions.
I'm running away.
Everybody's mind, especially in this day and time, is: did you have surgery, or did you have any assistance through fen or any weight loss pills or anything like that?
I did this. Now I've tried all kinds of things, and I even tried the pills. I haven't had surgery at all. I did pills maybe 2 weeks or something like that. Nothing long term or anything like that. But can I tell you what started me on my weight loss when I started?
Yeah, and you got to tell us also too, is what did you choose to eat? What was your eating?
Cool. So, I was overwhelmed. Okay. And like I tell you, when I got to the point, let me tell you something. I would sneak up on myself in the mirror. Now, I know that sounds crazy, but I would get dressed and I would have my head down, and then I do a quick look, and then I walk away. I literally would sneak up on myself because I was so ashamed to see myself. Now, I love my face because I'm cute. So I was like, okay, yeah, she's cute. But do not go further down. Okay, do not go further down. So I lost, you ain't right. I loathed that girl. Let me tell you something. When I talk about hatred, I hated myself. And see, that's where the change has to start. And that's where it started with me. So before I really started losing, let me tell you something what God made me do, which was the most painful thing I've ever done. He told me to go in the mirror just the way you came out of the womb. And he said, I want you to tell yourself, go from head to toe, and tell yourself that you love yourself. I love my eyes. I love my nose. I had to go all the way down, and I cried because I had to change my thinking, because every day I loathed myself. I hated myself.
Wow.
And we all have parts of our body that we don't love as much as other parts of our bodies. I love my legs. My mom and my daddy, they gave me some beautiful legs. So I don't have a problem. I have a problem with that. But my part was my arms. And it's just like, I hate my arms. That's all I would say. And I'm telling you, when God was dealing with me about that part of my body, he said, you hate your arms that cradled your babies.
Oh, wow.
Your arms that hug people and show people my love. Your arms that direct people into my presence. You hate that? And I'm telling you, I'm just like, I can't, God. I can't with this. But God had to teach me how to live loved.
But not only love, because if anyone would talk to you and anyone knows you, you give love. I mean, that's, you express love. But it's amazing how you can do it for everyone else. But it's so hard to do it for yourself. And I personally believe that everyone struggles with self-esteem issues. It's manifested in different ways, but it's everyone struggles with it. So I just can't even imagine myself now. Listen, I don't have no problems. Even on my big side.
You don't have no problems, okay?
But there are things that I just don't like about myself, as you stated. But to have to sit there and not do the angles and not, because I know how to take a picture with the angles right.
Oh, we have to. Yes. It's like, dude, roll back. Do like that.
And I don't allow other people to take my pictures because I know what works for me, and I know how to.
I know my angles.
But to literally sit in front of the mirror and have to address every part of your body.
Yes.
That's even big for me.
That was painful. It was painful. It was so painful for me to do that. And that's where my mind transformation had to begin, with me loving me. And no matter, and see, I want to tell y'all people, you need to love yourself as is. I don't care if nothing ever changes, ever. If you don't love yourself as is, you're not going to make the progress that you need to make in your life. And so after that, I'm like, okay, this is just too big of a problem. I would get on the scale and it couldn't even weigh me anymore. I thought I had a defective scale.
Go get me another scale.
It would just say E. Because I was too fat. They didn't have them over 300-pound scales, and I was not going to go to the doctor and have them weigh me on one of them big old freight scales or whatever. So honestly, I don't know how much I originally weighed. I know I was over 300 pounds. And so I don't know how much weight I even lost before my scale could actually start weighing me. But let me tell you how it started with me. Okay. Because so many times we see this blob, we see whatever's in front of the mirror, and we think it's insurmountable. There's just no way that we're going to be able to tackle such a big problem. But God taught me this thing, the power of one thing. He said, Beth, just do one thing. And so for me, I still love cream soda, but I would drink a couple of 2 liters a day. Maybe. That's not diet. Yes. Honey, my kids knew, don't you touch mommy's cream soda.
Don't touch that cream soda. Don't touch.
You gonna draw back a nub, honey. I mean, if anybody wants to appease me, hey, mommy, I got some cream soda.
Let me stop right there, because this is so powerful, right? I mean, as you can see from the comments, but I don't think we understand how much calories and how much sugar is in soda. And so you were drinking 2 liters of cream soda. So in just that 2 liter, one is probably 2,000 calories or more. More. And that's the daily calorie intake that just a normal person is supposed to have. And then you said 2.
Yeah, sometimes 2. Yeah, because I loved it. He said one thing. So my first one thing was the cream soda. Now I did go to diet, and I know diet is not good, but I had to step down slowly. So I did that, and I lost probably about 25 pounds, I guess. I lost, which is like, and so God, I want you to build upon that. He said, so add another thing. So I would make micro changes to experience macro. I mean, just results, macro results. Wow. Just micro changes, and you'll get macro results.
And that's so good too, because people think they have to do something just drastic and major. And it's just those little small things make the world of difference, especially when you're trying to shift a lifetime of habits.
Oh, absolutely. So and I still employ that in my life, even now. I mean, there's no like set diet that I do. I mean, so, okay, when we went through everything shutting down, and I'm like, my body was burning before that. I mean, it was just like, woo, I was getting even smaller. You know, I remember the first time that I didn't have to shop in the basement or the attic of a store. I was just like,
is that where that hot mama picture? I wish I could find that hot mama picture so I could put it up. Is that where that came from?
I didn't show y'all my hot mama picture, but I don't know. Y'all ready for that? But man, when I could shop just in the regular section and just pull it out and like, I remember I tried I had my size 10 jeans and I was like, oh, I'm in heaven. But I mean, it was just amazing, but it was not, I want to say, okay, was it difficult? I think the process was difficult, but still it wasn't hard. And I don't even know how to really explain it other than because it just became a part of my life. And I think the hardest part, Mark, has been my mind change, because even when the weight was coming off, I never took time to celebrate the victory.
You never took time to
celebrate.
Oh, okay.
To celebrate the victory and the accomplishment, because I still would see this girl in the mirror and I don't think I really saw that's me. You know, I mean, that's Bethany. I mean, the girl that just was huge. And I'm telling you, the largest size I was is a size 28. A 28. Almost a 30. That's how big I was. And, but I never took time to just enjoy it. And I think because it was so slow, I don't know if people noticed it as much, unless you just like, okay, Mark, I haven't seen you in 2 years. And you're like, whoa, is that you? And I'm like, yes, I mean, what? You know, and so the people around me just were accustomed to just my slow transformation. But as far as my mental shift, this year has been, I mean, it's been amazing, because I've done
about what's been contributing to that mindset, because you talked about the weight first, but then there was something that happened in the mind, and there was a shift in mind. So when did that happen, and where we are today?
It took a lot. It took a lot. Of course, you know, going through some of the challenges that I went through relationally in my relationships, because I didn't value myself in a sense. I had a mindset of just, oh, well, you just accept whatever life throws at you and be thankful, and oh, well, you know, and I didn't really value the person that I was. So I was willing to accept less in my life. And so where my mind had to shift is understanding who I am, and that I deserve to live the best life that I can possibly live. I'm telling you, God created me, not just any old body. The creator of the universe made me, and he doesn't do anything halfway. So when I started understanding and connecting with the creator, I started seeing that, wait a minute, I'm amazing. You know, I am wonderful. And this whole thing of living loved started taking hold of me. So what does living loved mean? It means that a loved person doesn't settle. A loved person expects the best. A loved person, because I'm loved, I'm going to treat myself well. It's just like if I was married to a king, a prince, or whatever. How is he going to treat his bride? How is he going to treat her? He's going to treat her, give her whatever, baby, whatever you want, you can have it. But instead of me, in my mind, I was waiting for someone else to attribute value to me. And when
I mean, I'm sorry to interrupt, but the key was you wasn't looking for love from someone else. You were tapping into the love of self and realizing the love that you have for yourself beyond what anyone else did, which is so powerful all by itself.
It is. It really is, because when I was sitting around looking for somebody else to approve me, somebody else to attribute value to me, and then like I've always done a lot of things. I'm very creative. I'm very gifted. So I do a whole lot of things. And then I'm waiting to hear, oh, that was wonderful. That was great. And so if I heard that, it's like, yes, I accomplished it. But when I stopped looking for that and just start operating from a place of, this is what I want to do. and I'm going to do the best that I can do with it. And I thank God for it. And I just love me. I just love myself. Because what happens with people is once you cease to have a purpose in their life, they think that you have no purpose at all, because your season with them is over. So what ends up happening, if you were the person that just needed that approval from somebody else, when you no longer have it, then you think that there's something wrong with you. But you just didn't recognize that that season was over. But I had to love myself. And because I love myself, I can exercise. Because I love myself, I want to feed this body what it needs to live. Because I love myself, I can get off the sugar. And I just now recently went on a 40-day sugar fast. Sugar, no grain, no TV, no bread, 40 days.
Listen, I'm like Oprah. I love bread.
I did too.
I cut bread out of my dad, but now I do eat it. But I found this, not zucchini, cauliflower bread.
Oh, yeah.
And it is amazing. And so now it's expensive now. I'm going to tell you, it's expensive.
$7 a loaf.
For 5 pieces of bread. But it is amazing. And I figured out how to make it real, have that crunch too now. So,
you got to share that. But I you know why I did that? Because I didn't want those things to have a hold on me. And I found myself oftentimes with us, we go to sugar because there's something that's lacking in us. And so we want to fill that with something sweet. But what ends up happening, what happens? Then you start berating yourself. Oh, you did it again. You're just a mess. Give me another Twinkie.
But the research says that sugar feeds our endorphins.
Yes.
As well as, and it gives us a happy feeling. It's the same thing that we get when we feel love. So that's why we tend to go through it. But it really requires that we break that. And one of the things that also, too, I learned in my class this week is not so much the fall. It's how long you stay in recovery. Everyone is going to go through those down spots and those peaks or those valleys where you fall off. But how long does it take for you to recover? So talk to us about that, because I'm pretty sure there's been times, even when you were doing well, that you're like, oh, okay, it's not working. It's not all working together. It's not coming together.
Just recently. So after I went on my 40-day journey, so I went about 45 days, really good. And then I said, let me get something sweet. But the key is this. I took my time with what I ate. I recognized why I wanted to eat it. And another thing I want to tell people, I know I'm all over the place.
No, you're good. You're good.
Stop eating in front of the TV. Stop it. I mean it. I'm like your mama now. Stop eating in front of the TV. Stop eating in your room, in front of the computer. Sit down at the table with a nice plate, a nice place setting, and center yourself and be intentional about that meal. Put the phone down. Enjoy each morsel. I was reading recently about the Jewish culture, and they have something called the 100 blessings. And where that they go through and they recite 100 blessings a day. And one of the blessings that they recite is before they eat. Because we all pray before we eat, right? But they pray before they eat. They bless the food while they're eating, and they bless it afterwards. And so what I started doing is the same thing. So when I come and I say my blessing, and then while I'm eating, I'm like, God, I thank you. This food is delicious and I'm enjoying it. Instead of, oftentimes, I don't know if you've done this, you're eating and already in your mind, you're thinking about what I want to eat next. You know,
Right.
you haven't even finished masticating what is in your mouth, and you're already thinking about what am I going to eat next? But when you take your time, you look at what you prepared. Oh, this is so beautiful. This is so wonderful. I can't wait. And you eat slowly and enjoy it. It doesn't set you off for a binge, because I find myself eating less and I'll pack that away. And I don't, no leftovers or anything like that. Just put it away. And I mean, if I ate it for lunch, then I want to eat it for dinner, that's fine. But take your time. But I have fallen off the wagon. And the key is just pivoting, readjust. And so what I try and do now too, okay, can we talk about exercise?
Come on, talk about it.
So I hated to sweat. So every trainer that I had, I just refused. I'm like, I can't do that. That's too hard. No, Miss Bethany, you can do it. You can do it. I'm like, no, I can't. And I'd be like, that's too hard. I was horrible client. I'm paying these people.
Payback. You're talking about me being difficult.
I'm telling you, I apologize. Max, Melanie, everybody, I apologize to y'all. But what I started doing is start loving how my body feels when it exerts itself. So now I don't feel like I've done any kind of workout unless I've sweat. So now I exercise about 5 days a week. And I never thought I would be that person. Never. And so in order for me to keep it mixed up, I do everything. So I wanted a challenge. So I was talking to my girlfriend in California. She's telling me about yoga. So I decided to do a 30-day yoga challenge. So every day for 30 days, I did yoga. And I used to, my body could never do that, But
I'm not that flexible.
But I was like, I want to be that flexible. So anyway, I'm being silly. But anyway, I found it to be very relaxing. And I found out, guess what, Bethany, you could do that. So I did that for 30 days. And then I started a push-up challenge with myself. So every day I would do 5 push-ups in addition to whatever else I do. So I do Pilates, I do yoga, I walk. And then recently I said, let me start doing a little more than my little jog. And then one day it was like, my legs was like, look, I can do more than this. And I started running. I was like, go legs.
Go. Listen, yes.
So I'm enjoying pushing myself. And that keeps me on that path. And if I do have a slip up, or if I do, you go out with your family, your friends, and you want to enjoy that social setting, and you do want to eat more than, what you eat. So, I give myself that time. I do, but I definitely know how to correct that, and just, okay, I'll eat a little less, or I'll do a shake in the morning. But I plan. So the key is to plan.
Talk about it.
You have to make preparations for your success. Like we were talking about those little micro changes. When you plan every day, and I plan everything anyway. So I plan what it is I'm going to eat in the morning, what snack I'm going to have, so that when I get up, if I'm just not feeling all that great, I can look at my little journal and I'm like, okay, I already know what I'm gonna eat. That's already settled for me. So I'm not standing in front of the refrigerator. What do I think I'll go to McDonald's.
That's so powerful, because let me tell you. So one of the things that I realized, and this is for everyone, you have to understand your triggers, and you have to understand what works for you. But you cannot deny this. When you plan and you map out, especially when you're shifting habits, this is most important when you're shifting. You've done this all your life. Go to Burger King, go to Wendy's, whatever your restaurant is. You're breaking habits. And the planning, your meal planning. And one of the things I learned about myself is I like convenience. I don't like to cook.
What?
And no, as much as y'all see me putting stuff, I do not like to cook. But I like ease. So if it's easy, it's better for me. So when I don't have food in my refrigerator, that's when I fall off the wagon.
Exactly.
Or I'm going to a restaurant. But when I plan it out, it just works better, because, again, you've been doing this for me 40 years. Yeah. I've been eating a certain way for 40 years. And then breaking that bad relationship with food, it's not easy.
It's not. It's not. But you have to plan. You have, because guess what? You're worth that much. You're worth that much to set an intention for your life. I mean, this goes beyond. That's why it's a mind, body, soul connection, because this goes way beyond, I want to lose weight. No, this is about changing my life, changing habits. And this can roll over into any poor habit, any addiction, even. You know what I even installed on my phone when I was going through my no sugar? I installed this little app that's called Sober. And I said, you know, they're like, what addiction do you want to get rid of? I said, sugar. So every day it reminds me, and it asks you, why do you want to do that? And I say, I want to do it because I want to be healthy and I want to obey God. And so every day it makes you pledge, okay, are you going to pledge to be sugar-free today? I'm like, yes. And then at night, were you sugar-free? Yes. And it's like, yay. What?
Well, let me stop. Just the way you said it. Do you plan to be sugar-free today? Yes. Ooh, you're the biggest motivator.
Because you know what? I'm not a group type person. I never did well with the whole group. That's why I don't think Weight Watchers work for me, or because it's hard for me to get in, because some people need that. Right. You got to know what you need. If you need those cheerleaders beside you, come on, girl, you can do it. You can do it. That's great. But for me, it just, I don't know, it just didn't work. So I have to be my own cheerleader. I really do. And so I just come up with all these little things that keep me on the straight and narrow, because everybody has to have a why. Your guest last week was his child being born. And that made him like, I have to do this for my legacy, for what's coming behind me. And for me, I used to try to use my family. I used to try to use my kids. I used to try to use my husband. Oh, I want to be healthy for them. I want to be healthy for them. But it didn't work for me. And I don't know if it's because I did so much already for them. Something had to be for me. Yeah. I couldn't do this for everybody else. It had to be for Bethany. And that, because I see, the thing is, I put more value on everything else than me. I didn't place that proper value on the gift of this body that God had given me, and really say, I need to do this to honor myself and to honor God, that he's pleased that while I was on planet Earth, I was such an amazing example of his love by me loving myself. So for me, everything boils down to love. It really, that's just.
Listen, I have so many questions that I still want to ask you. We got 10 minutes left.
Okay, 10 minutes.
I will be committed to the time, because last week I went over. I can't do that. I'm going to be committed to the time. So let me ask you this. And if anyone has a question, please drop it in the chat. What do you feel like your core value, the core, not only core values, but the core mindsets that you've really tapped in, not only to lose the weight, or because it's not even about the weight, it was truly a transformation. And the weight is a byproduct of what we can see, the manifestation of that. But what was your core values that you tapped in, as well as those core values that sustain you to maintain the weight loss and the transformation?
Well, I think I hit on it. The core value for me is love. It is for me, it's all about saying that I deserve to be healthy. I deserve to live a wonderful life. And I want to, till the day I draw my last breath, I want to live my life fully. And the only way that I can do that is to be healthy, because this is the only vehicle that we get for our ride on planet Earth. So, for me, it really has, and it's not even selfishness, because the Bible says to love your neighbor as yourself. So I can't love everybody else. I can't do anything for anybody else if I don't love Bethany. And so I think that's what's changing me more than anything. And, you know, when I did that photo shoot, that was transformative for me because I've never seen myself in that light. Because when those pictures were taken, I saw the light. I saw the girl that I always wanted to be. And even at that time, I was heavier than I am even now. And I wasn't going to do the photo shoot because I was like, well, I've gained a few pounds and I don't want to do it. But I said, no, I made this appointment and I'm going to do it. And Sharifa, shout out to Sharifa. She's an amazing person. If you need photos, go to her, Uptown Photography. But when she captured that part of me, I was in tears, literally in tears. I said, because that's me. That's who I am. That light that's shining. And I fully held on to it and said, okay, that's me. Okay, what other question?
Okay, so one, I guess the question is, what are you currently doing? I know you have a ministry. Share your ministry. Tell us what's that all about and what some of the things that you have going on.
Okay, his Heart Ministries is something that has been on my heart for years and years and years and years. What is my purpose? My purpose, my sole purpose for being on planet Earth is to communicate the heart of God to the heart of his beloved through whatever medium, whatever gift God has given me, whether it's through singing, whether it's through speaking, whether it's through writing, acting, whatever is to communicate the heart of God and to reach out to people who are disenfranchised, people who don't understand who they are. And for me to supply them with tools to become the best person they can be, mind, body, and soul. That's his Heart Ministries. And then I have my other business, All by Design Business Services. So if you need to incorporate your business, everybody got their side hustle, you need to be legal, okay? Don't be trying to do that on the side and you're not even legal and people want to bless you, but they can't because you don't even have your business set up correctly. So if you want your LLC or your 501c3,
and let me tell you, this is one of the things that Bethany is gifted in. That's one of her giftings is administration, and to be able to actually bring things to pass. And so that's part of what, even when I first met her, that's part of one of the things she was entrenched in and doing outside of the million other things that she had going on. And part of how do you balance everything that you got going on, as well as being a creative? She's a songwriter, music. I mean, she's constantly thinking music or hearing music in her head. What song you got in your head now? No, but
oh my God.
It being a creative, you tend to be all over the place.
You do.
So how do you balance everything that you have going on, as well as being committed to your transformation?
I think it goes back to planning. It goes back to, so every week, here's what I do. Saturday, on Sunday is my rest day, my focus day. And so I have this, it's called, I'm giving them a plug. It's called Focus and Faith and Focus Planner. And it's by ChristianPlanner.com. So what it has done is really transformed me in the sense that it has me just honing in onto all my goals, my monthly, my yearly, my 5-year goals, everything else like that. But on Sundays, I go back over my week and it asks me, how did you see God working in your life last week? And I think about my week and then I think about the next week. And so I really meditate. Sunday night is my time to meditate on what is it I want to see happen this week? And I put that out there because you will have what you say. So I really started putting that out there. And so there's times it's like, I need to work on some music. I need to write a song. I need to write this blog. I need to update my website. I need to do this. I need to do that. So I put all that on there and then I plan it out for the week. And I'm telling you, I mean, do I hit everything every day? No, of course not, because life. But at least I hit more than I would have had I not done it. But one thing about me, the best part of me is the God part of me. And I tell you, every gifting that I have, I believe it flows from that musical part of me. And so when I'm not doing anything musically, I feel like everything else is kind of out of kilter. And
Oh,
so I'm really, and that's why I get fought in that arena a lot, because before COVID, I was writing a new cantata for this year.
come on,
And I
Cassandra.
Yes, and it was just like amazing what God gave me. And then this hit, and I'm like, what's up with that? But something else started working. So you'll see.
You
But
know, I
yeah,
have. I'm not a journalist. I don't journal. I tried
real
to. It just
journey
didn't. It just didn't sit
is not
well with me.
right.
But in this season, it's so much creativity that's coming out. I will be in the middle of doing something, and something else would come out of it. Like this came almost
Wow.
4 weeks ago. I was doing something, ran across something, and this was like, do this. So immediately I wrote it down. I have a book that I keep because there's so many ideas that's coming out of me. And I just think that's the creative part also. So,
Yes.
wow, Beth, this has been amazing.
I know. I love it. You know, I always love you. Look, everybody, Mark was always my favorite worshiper. I mean, he gave me fits. We would fight all the time, but
I was rebellious. I was.
he be telling me I ain't doing it right. So anyway, but there's something about him, and I'm gonna speak into your life, Mark, because that part of your life is not over. It is not over because you cannot unring that bell, that gift that is in you. So this is just me, Bethany, and this is you, Mark. Because I do miss hearing that. So all this other stuff you're doing is great and wonderful. But there's a part of you that still is calling out. It wants to come out.
Now,
You gotta.
that is on camera. Everybody, that's supposed to be a side conversation.
No. You want to talk about me? I gotta go here. While I
got So where can they find you? Tell them where can people find you to connect with you?
Okay, we have our new website. It's hisheartmin.net. That's our new website, and it's a spot where we have blogs. We're gonna have I have an artist spotlight. So because I love music, so I want to bring people on that have projects or they want to just highlight their gift. Right now, I have my niece Symphony on there on the page. Also, Facebook, His Heart Ministries, and Instagram. I got to change it because my daughter said it's so long. So anyway, don't worry about Instagram. You can find me on there. Just say His Heart Ministries.
Listen,
but yes, I'm on.
So fast, I realized, and you got to really narrow it because I'm like, okay, my personal Facebook page, then I got my coach page. I'm trying to drive people to, it's just a mess.
It's a lot. And ABD, All by Design Business Services, that's on Facebook as well.
What is
so
it
you
called?
can read All by Design.
Okay.
All by Design, ABD. So I'm telling you, if you do need, and I'm finding a lot of people right now are really trying to get their hustle on, be an entrepreneur, but you have to have your business set up correctly. You really do. Because you want God to bless you.
Do you have affordable prices? That's what the people want to know. Are your prices?
Of course. I'm very reasonable. I'm running a special through the end of August for $200, and I will set you up. So my normal prices for a nonprofit organization is $500, which is still very reasonable.
Very reasonable.
Very reasonable. And the thing that you're going to get with me is that I'm going to pray over your business, and I'm going to pray, and I'm going to anoint all that stuff.
Hold on now.
You're gonna put some oil on it. You're gonna put some oil.
Wow.
But I love listen. I went by so fast, and I just knew it was gonna be fun because I just been so excited about it, and I just wanted to just get on here and just talk to you.
Yeah. So listen, we have maintained a good amount of people that has been on this the entire time. So thank you for everyone that tuned in. Next week, we have this guy that I met on Instagram who had really transformed his life. And you just got to come back. Everybody's just been really good. and it's just been powerful. I'm just so I'm what God is doing in this season is absolutely amazing. And so your sister said both of us look good. That's what she said.
Thank you.
Yeah. I got the fresh shine on the hair.
I see.
Beth got the curls going on. We got the fabulous look going on tonight. So let me tell you a few things. So all the different businesses that Beth has shared with you that she has, this will be posted. We're going to make some edits to it, of course, and then we're going to post it to our Facebook page at Coach Mark Morton. And you'll be able to stream it as well as share it with everyone. All the information about her business and where you can find her will be in it as well. And then exciting news that I want to give is I decided, listen, I am not a fitness coach. That is not what I am. I am not. I don't help people. That's not what I help people be better, do better, and get better. Mind, body, and soul. And so that's what my purpose, and that's what I do. So I started a challenge, a 30-30 fitness challenge, which is 30 days you commit to doing these exercises, 4 exercises, 30 of each. They're broken up into sets of 10, 3 sets, and that's how you get your 30-30. They're not hard exercises. They're not designed to be hard, but they will break a sweat. And they will get you moving. So if you want to join that, then come and tap into my Facebook page, Coach Mark Morton. Hey, what's up, folks? My name is Coach Mark Morton, and I am a certified wellness coach. Part of my mission is to build, encourage, and motivate growth in not only myself, but in others. So what I decided to do was create a challenge. Yes, I know, another challenge. And this is the 30-30 challenge. This challenge is not designed to be high impact, but more so opportunity to get to moving. So what do? 1, accept the challenge. 2, you decide on what day you're going to begin working out and committing to those 30 days. I would encourage you to make sure you look at the calendars and make sure that you can get those full 30 days within the time that you have set. The next thing I want you to do is come to my Facebook page and like my page at Coach Mark Morton. Once you like my page and you put in the messages for the flyer, I've accepted the challenge, I will send you your own personal flyer with your picture as well as an acceptance placard that says, I've accepted the 30-30 challenge, and then get to moving. One of the things why we want you to post that is not only to let everyone know about the 30-30 challenge, but also as a means of accountability. And every day that you work out, be proud about it. Post a picture saying that I worked out today. Post a picture of you working out. Go live. Let all your friends know. This will ensure that your community and your tribe knows that you have accepted and you're committed to the 30-30 challenge. All right, I'm out, but let's be better, do better, and get better. The 30-30 challenge.